Welcome. In God's divine play, whenever it appears that a door is closed, there are many other doors that open as a result. So there was speaking yesterday about how meditation, the way it had been over the years, was experienced to be taken. And there was never a following of anyone's teachings aside from Ramana. There was no need to follow teachings. It always felt like secondhand. And now, with all of this time, and with the play being such that sitting and closing the eyes, there's just the falling asleep again and again and again and again. What has been discovered is another avenue that never would have been looked for and was never available like it is now. So I had mentioned before there is this incredible being, Samaneri, by roots. She is a Zen Buddhist, but her teachings from her YouTubes is an incredible transmission of all of the greatest sages through all the traditions. I mean, it's really quite astounding. Even amazing beings who were not considered sages but had incredible spiritual insights, like Albert Einstein, Helen Keller, the list goes on and on. But the beings in all the traditions, from Zen to Tibetan Buddhism to Taoism to mystical Christianity to Sufism to Hinduism to Judaism, all of the great leaders have all been shown to offer something incredibly consistent, as would really be expected, because the truth is the truth. And what that is you cannot be fully divine if you are not also fully human. They go hand in hand. You can't cut off your humanity, cut off your roots, and taste the totality of what you are. You can only feel love to the degree to which you can feel pain. So what happens is there is a coming into the human experience of separation, and pain is experienced. And the egoic mind is born out of that. And it is this distractive mechanism because it fears feeling pain. So it craves feeling the beauty. It craves feeling pleasure. And it fears feeling pain. And it's built into the mechanisms of the circuitry. It has nothing to do with anyone. Remember what was spoken yesterday, which felt to be such a powerful gathering in the recognition that every single tiny, minute thing is God, that the individual is imaginary. And from the perspective of the Absolute, which is the underlying reality of who you are, there is no suffering. But you were born into the human experience. And in being born into the human experience, there is the receiving of the experience of separation. But not the way the common person experiences separation. The common person is in a continual state of denial that feels things only so superficially. And it is all monitored out of the belief that I am the mind. I recall in the early days walking around Arunachala. I would do it first thing in the morning every day. And I would receive a message from the mountain every morning. And all of the messages made sense, but this was in the early times of the journey for me. One day I was walking around the mountain and the message came in, torture is grace. And I did not know where to put it. Torture is grace? How could this be? It took many years before I really got the depths of the teaching. Because when you are fully open, you are open to the teachings that are being offered here in this plane of experience. You are purely divine, but you are also purely human. Both. And the possibility is not to curtail or shut down the experience out of the fear of suffering. The realized person is open in the recognition that it is all God. This is the teaching. The world is in a state of chaos based on all of the distraction that has come out of the evolution of materialism. In fact, there is only the experience of material matter because the energy that is united, that is consciousness, gets so dampened down by these denial mechanisms that it is impossible to feel your heart and who you are. And to be open to it is to be open to all of it. It is to realize that it is all being perfectly orchestrated to unravel the particular karma which is actually built into the mechanics of the machinery. It's not an individual's, there is no individual. Karma makes it feel like there's an individual, but it's opening to all of it in the recognition that it is all God. And God has come into the play of separation at a time where there is such a need of profound healing. You go back to the original cultures, and it is so much more connected with the inherent nature of the heart, of the unity, of the energy which creates the experience for those shut down of matter. But it's all energy, it's all connected, it's all one thing. And when you come into the human school that is the experience of separation, and there is enough fortitude and conviction, there is the opening equally to everything, equally to everything. There are the teachings which are liberating the identification with a program, and there are the tastes of the eternal beauty that is the light of your nature, and the evolution and the freeing of the soul, which is why you came here, lies in the meeting of all of the things that create the experience of suffering, because there has been false identification. The false identification happens out of the intention to keep what the mind calls suffering away. So in watching, now that I am not sitting, I am watching these amazing videos. In particular, this one woman who has a sampling of everything. And what is held in common is that you cannot be fully divine if you are not fully human. And being fully human is the daunting, challenging, sometimes excruciating flavor of being here. Faith just showed me a short 5-minute interview with Adi Ashanti, and he was interviewed and he was asked, now that you are awake, is there no longer suffering? And he said, not only is there not no longer suffering, but there is suffering to a degree that I never knew was possible. But what there is not is an attempt to shield or hide or protect. There is not a story that is causing it to grow larger. It's just the raw feelings that have been submerged, that are received. I remember hearing a story about the Dalai Lama where he was giving a lecture at a large gathering, and the lecture was interrupted because there was some emergency mail that was given to him, and he read the letter, and two Tibetan nuns had just been murdered, tortured and murdered. And he broke down crying hysterically. And he sobbed and he sobbed and he sobbed and he sobbed until he was done. And then when it was done, he turned to face the audience with these beaming, glowing, love-drenched eyes. It had moved through. It was fully received. It was not hidden. He did not excuse himself. On the one hand, there is the play of separation. On the other hand, there is the underlying energy that connects everything. It is only the fear of suffering that causes you to be part of the experience of separation. In the opening to the energetics, which is all one, there is this beauty. And every time the experience of the suffering is moved through the system, in its wake, the taste of the innate, eternal origin of your being becomes stronger. The love becomes stronger. You realize it is impossible for the compassion to continue to grow without feeling the depths of your humanity. Eventually you see your humanity is not ugly. It's incredibly beautiful, but it is also incredibly challenging. What is it challenging to? It's challenging to a misconception, but whether it is a misconception or not, it is experienced. It's temporary, yet it is experienced. Your human nature is temporary, but it is experienced. It arises out of your divinity, but this temporary experience is the offering back for the purification of your own soul. And it is offered back to the beloved that is everything. The humanity and the divinity. One fleeting, one eternal. But until there is a receiving of everything that is fleeting from where it is coming from, and it is coming from divine wisdom, you cannot know your eternal nature all the way through. This is where such familiar phrases come from, like out of the ashes, out of the rubble rises the phoenix, that out of the mud of samsara arises the lotus. If the roots have not been planted in hell, the tree cannot stretch all the way up into the heavens. So the full spectrum of it is integrated, and the integration is in the heart of pure love and compassion. And the pure love and compassion is what this is all about. When all that is seen is the play of God and not mistakes, not good and evil, not right and wrong, not up and down. It is all rising out of this wisdom that is molding what is called you, like putty in the hand. If you are ready, you are being molded in the form of God. And this is the heart. It is the Atman. You need not look for it. You need not do anything. There is no doer. There is no separate you. The separate you has appeared out of a protection. There is only the wisdom. There is only the beloved. And the nature of the wisdom and the beloved is this wild joy and light that is in celebration with itself And the doorway is not in doing something right. It's not in an exercise. It's not in something because there is no one to be in something. The someone has appeared as a result of trying to keep what the mind, what the egoic computer has deemed bad and hurtful. There is nothing that can hurt you, even though the experience of suffering, if you are open, at times feels like more than can be handled. It never is, but that is the egoic story. You move through this egoic story, it passes, and the taste runs deeper. The taste runs deeper, the connection is deeper. The connection is deeper, not the connection of someone, but the connection of pure, eternal light and love to itself. And the light is the soul of your being, which is being purified, freed from all subtle aspects of attachment to what is called the human computer. But the human computer is built around karma. Karma are the ways in which you've forgotten your nature. Your nature that has been forgotten must play itself again and again until there is a seeing. I am not screwing up. It's not that I do not have what it takes. It's that there is no one there. Every single thought is arising out of one source, and it is all God. It's all God. Everything is God. God is love. God is wisdom. This love and wisdom is dancing everywhere. It's dancing everywhere. It's dancing in you, as you, in everything, as everything, without any separation. Seamless. Seamless. The driven nature of this egoic construct of doing, it's not that it stops. It's that it is recognized to have never been someone's. It just created the experience of someone. And as the experience of someone-ness starts to relax, the sensitivity to what is being offered grows, and the wall stops being a wall. You start feeling the energetic dynamics, that you are the wall, and the wall is you, and the wall is no wall. It is appearing out of the emptiness, the expanse, the infinite expanse that is alive. It's alive now, it's always alive. And this is the dynamic that can change the collective consciousness and bring about the unity, the inherent love and joy in the unity that lives in the heart, lives in the heart. And then you can say the body is turned over, but that is overly simplistic. The body is seen to be a creation of the mind, a creation of karma. It's all the vast, infinite space that comes as an appearance of a body, the appearance of a doer. Only when there is attachment, and the attachment is not the attachment of someone, it's the unraveling of what created the forgetting. And this unraveling occurs when there is a readiness to receive your humanity in its fullness. Humanity gives us the opportunity for the light of the self to experience itself, which is the taste of love. And love gives birth to light, and light gives birth to totality. This is about no thing but receiving God in every flavor that is arising out of a wisdom that will bring the forgotten aspects home to the Atman, the heart, the purity, the joy. It's not about going for the joy. It's not about going for anything. There is really no individual to go for something. It is all the illusion of the play of time. The heart is timeless. You are both human, fully human. Nothing to hide. If hiding comes up, you realize you are not hiding. It is karma playing out. You are in love with the beloved. And anything and everything that created the forgetting of your nature will arise and often be experienced by the conditioning as suffering. And when you are ready, there is nothing shielding you, insulating you from this. So everything is felt to its full extent. And then what remains? And then what remains? love remains. Love for the beloved, which is everything, everywhere, all the time. It is spilling over everywhere. Oh, goodness. From where do the words come? From where does the breath come? It is not an exercise, but a simple recognition. And what is recognizing? From where does that come? It's in everything, everywhere. The words have done their work. What lingers is the energy from where the words come. The words are temporary, yet they hold a vital role in the human experience. But the energy neither comes nor goes. It's always here. It's always everywhere. Divine grace that is so light infused, so light infused. Thank you all for satsang.